Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's 2 minutes past 4. So we are going to start. This is the East Central and South Africa Microsoft Excel Forum, brought to you by Crisp Excel Training and Consulting. We are corporate and individual trainers and also consultants on various data management and analytics skills. Our partners in Kenya and outside. Our presenter today is a person I've waited for a long time to present. Is no other but Aditya Kumar. He's a Power Query wizard. If you follow him on LinkedIn and his other webinar presentation, you know that he's very good with data analytics and also Power Query. Other areas of expertise is financial analysis, corporate training. You can follow him on LinkedIn. I'll send you his social media handle. And also, Aditya has been having 3 days workshop. I attended the first one, Power Query UI, which was very insightful, and he is currently doing another workshop on M language chronicles. I would advise you that you link up with him and also register for these workshops. Very beneficial. You can also check his website on creativity and how you can ignite the shout in you. This is his blog, the Undying Shout, a WordPress blog. So the topic of today is Power Query, joins, and GroupBy. This is like the foundation, the very foundation of Power Query. So I will welcome Aditya. Aditya, are you there?
Yes, Chris.
Yeah,
yes,
I think I'll stop sharing. Then you can do your introduction, and then we can move on with the web. Yes, it's feasible.
Okay, so the thing is कि we are going to master joins and group by in Power Query today. In the group by, we won't go in much more lengthier and complicated things like grouping.local and other stuffs. But yeah, we will understand कि how with mouse clicks only we can analyze a lot of stuffs. So, all right. So the thing is, कि Crispo has already introduced me, and I wanted to pick out only one point here. कि I am a unique and curious child. It took me years to understand this thing and adapt that mentality myself. But yeah, why uniqueness and curious thing is कि in 2020 I found a survey of many companies, and they are saying कि people are nowadays are not creative and all these things. And then I found one pattern in everyday life कि why मतलब as a children we were like so much creative. All right, कि whenever we were given some task we could come out with so many approaches and all these things. But what happens ki actually when we grow up, so something happens with our brains and in our society, and because of their comments and all these things, so I adopted ki for my lifetime I will remain as an unique and curious child who will be like an eternal learner and pursuing his interest. And then I am interested in data analytics. I am currently much more interested and fascinated by finance. And for achieving all these things, I started pursuing CA course. It is Chartered Accountancy from Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And yeah, I will discuss a bit later. And recently, I also got a top data analytics voice, and it's for fun. So that's why what Crispo was saying ki yeah ki that undying child, yeah, I need to work again on that. That's the thing ki because I believe every child is unique. And what the thing is ki our schools, what they do is ki they their first task on hand is ki we want to make you an average. I read book 7 habits of highly effective people, and there it was like, or if you can say just I can summarize it in a few lines. So if you know the famous quote of Albert Einstein, you cannot judge fish ability by asking her to fly in the sky. So the thing is कि every child is unique in its own way, and you cannot मतलब bifurcate and by averaging them out. That's the thing. So why gaming learning? The thing is, if you know Usain Bolt or Sachin Tendulkar, they have practiced like rigorously for 10K hours. And when I was pursuing CA, so I felt like I am studying like 14 hours in a day. And when my CA that time CA president was saying, so he just said ki after you will finish CA, you won't become master in any of these things. You need to you will master over time. So I felt like I am studying like so many hours. If you just calculate now 250 days into 5 years into 8 hours, so it will roughly come around 10K hours. Understood. So in 5 years, I can master everything, even taking break of 120 days. So that's the thing. With gaming learning, we can matlab, actually learn at lightning speed. So that's the thing why I'm so much fascinated by the gaming learning. And as Crispo has told, I have a blog, The Child in You. I am reading books, so many books, and I will start blogging again there, share my learnings from all these books and TED Talks. And the reason behind joining my CA curriculum was I like to analyze the financial models and all these things, companies' financial statements and these things. So it helps me improve my cognitive and uh, I can have a bird eye view over the organization. That's the thing. But you are not interested in learning me, right? What you are interested right now, why should we learn Power Query? So the thing is I won't speak today. Why should you learn? After this session, you will yourself understand in Excel, we were writing so many complicated formulas, but with just mouse clicks, you can do a lot of things. But yeah, a bit warning for those who have came here with the mindset Power Query is equals to VLOOKUP. So your expectations will be betrayed because you are comparing an ant with an elephant. VLOOKUP function is just an ant. Understood? So have a broader mind. So the agenda will be why do we need joins and what are the various types of joins, and we will have detailed discussions and practical examples I have prepared related to finance. And then we will learn about GroupBy in Power Query, and we will see how GroupBy can make our data life so much simpler. The first, directly let's jump to the join types. So left outer join. So left outer join is simply like you are getting all the rows from left and matching rows from left. You can see the Venn diagram, right? We are getting everything from the left and the intersection part also. So if you see now this table A, table B, understood? So we are getting table B and C and the key value C2 values from the right table, understood? But the A and D values don't are not there in the right table, so we are not getting anywhere. So let me explain you with the concept what I mean. So you can see now these are two tables. These are budgeted expenses and these are my actual expenses. Understood? So what can happen is in real life we assumed that there will be 10 expenses, but actually some of them happened and some of them other than the budgeted expenses we face some more expenses. It generally happens when we are just a startup company because we cannot predict the future. That's the thing. So we will see how can we use joins. So your boss came today, understood, and he wants what we want is which expenses in the budgeted table are there and their corresponding amounts are there in the actual table if they exist. Wait a second. So let me write that 125. All right, this is looking good. So what would happen is what I will do, I will open this again file. You can see the merge or joins. So for our simplicity and to understand the questions, I will again open the book. So what you need to do is Power Query doesn't allow, understood, to open the file. Same workbook again. Give me a second. Why it is not opening? Acha, it was that way. I don't know. Let me see if we can open it. So the thing is I want to see the questions again. So what can I do is when you open a file, so there is a simple trick. Just press the Alter tab. You can see beside your space bar, there will be Alter tab, and just press it while opening the file and just hold it and you will see this icon. Do you want to start a new instance of Excel file? And I am going to click it. Yes. And it will open the file in the read only. Now you can see I have opened the same file, merge and joins, and it has opened me in the read mode. So it would be for our understanding the questions. Let me see. Right. So what thing we wanted was I want to see how much is the amount actually in the budgeted expenses. Understood? What is the budgeted and what we have actually spent on these amounts. So what I am going to do is simply if we go in Excel, we will use some complicated formulas and all these stuffs. In Power Query, you just need to use a bit brain and the concepts of joins. So joins are also known as merge queries in Power Query. So I will merge new query, expense here, I have budgeted in the left table. I have actual expenses in the right table. And I will go for the left outer because I want everything in the budgeted expenses and only the matching part in the actual expenses. So when I click now, just this much, so you can see Power Query has given me everything from the left table, that is budgeted table. And now what we can simply do, I just want the actual amount. That's all. So now see, we can analyze more stuffs here. Okay, we have we have budgeted like 500 expenses on office supplies, but actually we incurred 480 amount. And you can see here we budgeted actually we would see 400 expenses in insurance amount, and you can see we had nothing here in the actual amount. So this way you can analyze the data with quick in some few steps. Otherwise you would be using sum ifs and all these functions and unique and so many complicated things. With Power Query, just see we have so much simplified them. Understood? So let me explain the second joins. So Crispo, tell me, should I explain the joins in one go or one by one?
I think one by one is okay, unless it's going to take you a lot of time.
No big deal. There are 7 joins only, so it won't take much time.
Okay.
All right, and let's see. Let's understand the concept of right outer join. So the right outer join is the exact opposite of the left outer join. So you will see here all rows from the left, and when you will see in the right outer join, it will be all rows from right function, right table, and only the matching rows from the left. You can see the Venn diagram also. Understood? And you can see here there were A and D in the last result, and in this right outer join we are getting X and Y. Understood? So that's the thing, and I will show you more in Excel file. Just see. Now, how can we use a concept here? You can see na ki what the question we are asking is asked by your boss. Ki Aditya, go and find ki how many are actual expenses. Okay, what we actually bore the expenses and their corresponding amount in the budgeted table. I want to find out that. So we can use na ki right outer join simply. I will delete everything and just see here. I have selected the budgeted expenses as my left table and actual expenses is my right table. And you can see Power Query allows at the right outer. You can see na ki Power Query allows, and it also says ki all from second and matching from first. And you will see here ki the selection matches 9 of 12 rows. Understood? And let me explain you this way also. You can see here ki there are 10 line items in our budgeted expenses, and in actual expenses there are 12 line items. So we will simply do that. Ki right outer merge, and you will see ki actually this is showing us the 10 items. Understood? So what we are going to do right now ki I want everything from the actual expenses. So what I will do simply ki because the left table was budgeted amount, so I need to delete this table, the first column of budgeted expenses, and I will say here directly expenses and actual amount, and that's the thing. You can see I have got expenses amount, and I will just drag and drop here the budgeted amount. Now you can see ki we have got the report what we wanted. Ki I have got office expenses this much and this much. 500 and 480, and you can see ki actually we have more expenses of office furniture 700. Understood? And here we have got nothing budgeted. So it might happen ki if you are analyzing the data, you can feel ki the office supplies manager what they have done is ki just see, they have said ki you have budgeted 480 amount, 500 amount, but I have saved you 20 cost. But actually they might have incurred 700 expenses in the office supplies. I hope you are getting the point. Understood? So they have bifurcated the expense only to show their efficiency, but it might be actually not an efficient job. So that's the thing. We can analyze the data in this way. Understood? So what I was saying was ki why left outer and right outer are exact opposite. So in the previous one, what we did ki we took actual budgeted expenses at the left table. But if we see now, okay, now let me tell you this way. Okay, this is appending. Okay, just see, I have now selected actual expenses as left table and budgeted expenses at right table, and I will go. I am selecting left outer join. Okay, and then you can see. Just see, I have got everything those expenses which were in actual table, and now here I just want simply the budgeted amount. That's all. You can see that we have got exact same result what we did with the right outer merge. So actually left outer and right outer are exact opposite depending on what you are selecting in the left table and right table. I hope you guys have understood the topic. So that's about left and right outer, and I am now what we want is we want only those expenses which actually happened. Understood? The inner joint will match only the matching rows. So in the first one we were getting from left, in the second one right outer we were getting from right, and now what we want, we want the inner join. And you can see when inner join is we are selecting inner join, it is only selecting the intersection part. So you can see now here output also they are going giving us only the B and C rows. Understood? So how can we understand that? Now what are boss cars? What which expenses are actually in both budgeted and actual expenses? Uh, so which expenses are both in budgeted and actual? Because now we want to pick out the department whether they have performed efficiently or not non-efficiently with comparing with our budget. Understood? So let me show the file. Yeah, this is a file. So let me delete everything from here and just see what we are going to do. Budgeted is our left table, actually is our right table. And now what we are going to select in the inner part, and you can see Power Query is very much user friendly, and this is only the matching rows. And when you will select now, you can see कि there are only 9 expenses which were in common. Understood? And then I am going to select the actual amount. And now what you can also do, ki if you want to present more information, you can also do subtraction here, ki standard, and then okay, subtract. So you can see what it has done is ki budgeted minus actual amount. Or if you want the opposite, you first select the actual minus budgeted. So that's the thing. Ki, we have saved here 20 cost, and somewhere down the line we have end up paying 100 rent more. So we need to figure out those expenses and the person behind them. Ki how they ended up paying more. So it might be because of inflation or some other economic scenario. So that's the other thing. But yeah, we now understand na कि with just simple clicks, we can do much better in our reports. Right. So that was inner join. And let me go again. So now what our boss says कि let's do कि I want every expenses. Understood. I want every expenses and the whole circle. Okay, which expenses we bore, which expenses we budgeted. So you can see कि we have B and C. They have common and they took up the C2 values for C1 and C2 values. But the things which didn't have any common here, so they we got the null values. So let me share my screen. So you can see the right now कि in earlier case what our boss said कि which expenses are in both. Understood? The importance is both here. But right now what our boss is asking कि either कि I want कि there should be in either the budgeted or in the actual or they are present in both. So everything, I want everything. Understood? So now let's see. कि do we have something like that in Power Query? So if you will see now, कि there is no also the full outer merge. Our query also allows the full outer merge and it is saying all rows from both. Understood? So when we do the OK part, now see here we are getting the null values and I want all the expense name from actual amount, actual table na. So I will select everything. But just see how the ugly report it is looking. We have got two actual expenses column and they are repeating kind of. But actually when we are going na ki if you will see this report here, if you will see I just want key one key column only. What I want key I want only one expense column. But if you will see Power Query what has done, it has given me one this column and then one this column, and I need to figure out something. So there will be this is looking ugly. So what we can simply do here, key there is one trick. What we will do simply we will go for left outer merge. All right, and then we will select OK. And what we are going to do, we are going to expand the columns and then we will select the actual amount. Got it? So this is what we got, the actual thing which were in the left table. And then what we can simply do here, okay, I am going for appending and I am going to append the actual expenses. All right. And then you can see now we have got duplicate amounts here. Understood now? So simply what we can do, I am going in expense tab. I am going for transform and let me see if okay, it is here. So right click and you will see remove duplicates. And just see now. This is the report what we wanted. Got na? This is the report what we wanted. So what we first did is we did left outer join, then we appended the right table and then we remove the duplicates. So now you can see we have got all the expenses which were in both budgeted amount and the actual amount. So now you will get the whole picture of the business. So that was full outer join, and now left anti join. Now what my I have asked my secretary is what I want is simply I want those expenses which we have budgeted and didn't actually appear. Understood. So in the next budget session, what we will do is we will try to see if we will need these expenses again in the next year or not. So that's the concept about left anti-join. It will give us everything from the left table and minus matching from the right. So let me tell you this way. You can see in the left outer join, this whole circle was there. If you will see now, this whole circle was highlighted yellow. Understood? So I don't have yellow color, but try to understand we in the left outer join we have got everything like this. But when you go for the left anti join, we are just getting this portion only. Understood? So let me explain you this way also. Just see, we have B and C columns here. They are matched up, but what we want only the A and D portion. Understood? So what our boss asked again, let me show you which expenses are in the budgeted table but not in the actual table. Right? So that's the concept behind it. And if I explain with Power Query, give me a moment. I'm going to delete everything right now. And you can see Power Query also allows left anti-join. Rows only in the first. So Power Query treat it as first table, and I am saying this is the left table and this is the right table. This is left, this is right. What Power Query says is this is the first table, this is the second table. That's the only thing. So when I do now the left anti-join, so you can see we have insurance amount, budgeted amount, and when I go for actual amount now, so you will see this is null. So this is the summary, and we have got what we wanted. Only expense which we have budgeted and it didn't actually occur. All right. So that's the concept of left anti. Now the right anti is exactly opposite. Understood? Matches from the right table and minus matching from left. So you can see I am getting only the right portion minus the intersection portion. Understood? So that's the logic. In the left anti, we got A and D. In the right anti, we are getting X and Y. So how we can use it when this is asked by our boss which expenses is in the actual table but are not in the budgeted table. Now I want to hunt that person. Actually, why did you bought that expense? What were the reasons behind it? Understood? So this is going at the back of mind of our boss. So if you will see now, let me select the right anti-join and I am going to click it OK, and you will see I am deleting this portion because I want every expense from the right table, and just see by reordering it we got what we wanted. These were actually expenses. Why entertainment expense? Okay, so there can be like we are developing startup, and in some companies what happens is HR organizes events to have collaboration between teams and have friendly culture in the organization. So we actually didn't first budgeted it, but depending on the circumstances and what actually happened in the year, we got this thing, and we might have applied for some subscriptions also. These things are happening. Understood? So this is what our boss wanted. And then the thing is we want everything full anti-join. Uh, so it will be rows not matching between the left and the right. Understood? So now we are getting left part and the right part, and eliminating the mid part, intersecting part. So you can see what I want, A and D and X and Y. I have got what I wanted. Understood? So Now, how we can utilize it? Ki just see the difference between these two. These two, ki which expenses are either in the, let me increase it, which expenses are either in budgeted or actual tables or both. Understood? So this is having intersection part also. And here what we are going to ask is ki either in the budgeted or in actual, but not in both. Understood? So that's the concept. So what I want is ki I will write here ki if you will see na ki in Power Query we don't have this feature ki there is no full anti out join. Understood? So how can we get it? So there is one trick here ki we are going for first left anti, and what we are going for to do is ki left anti join and then actual expenses. Got it. This is left anti join, and what I will do is ki right anti join. Got it. I will delete this part. Understood? And then what we will do here simply right anti, and I will append these tables. Append as new left anti, and okay, I have selected the merge option. Second table is right anti, and that's all. Understood? Second, where did I stop? Did I select something else? Okay, actual expenses, it should be budgeted and it should be actual expenses. So that's the thing. And I selected the tables uh, in wrong way. Wait a second. So that's the thing. Something is not looking good. What I will do is कि by acha, I will delete this portion. Wait a second. I will delete this portion, and yeah, that's what I wanted. All right, and you can see कि we have got everything what we wanted. Ki in the left hand side, we got what expenses were in only budgeted table, and here in the right hand side, we got what expenses were in the only the actual table. And when we appended it, we can see कि we have got what we wanted, full outer merge. Right? I have completed it. The joins part, if someone has queries, they can ask me. And now you can see na कि just see how much so simple it is. कि with Power Query, we just end up using only what we say कि only the left clicks. We have not written any formula or anything like that. Unless you are so much flexible with formulas, you will end up using some ifs and all these complicated formulas. Right.
I've not seen any question. There's a question. Will I get the recording of this session? Yes, you get the recording plus the workbooks. I think Aditya, you can continue with the grouping. Yeah.
I am opening my
And
files. Give me a moment.
If anyone, yeah, it's okay. If anyone has a question, you can unmute yourself or you can write it on the chats. So understanding joins is a very important part of learning Power Query.
And whatever I done is I have sent you the exercise files also. So
Okay.
that will help you. That will help you. You will understand more concepts.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the transaction table. You can see this is the transaction table we have received. We have prepared in Excel. And what I will do is let me open again one file so that I can explain you side by side. This is the first part where it's per query. All right, and then what are requirements? Right, you can see this is the same file and I opened in another instance. So you can see this is our transaction table. We have product category, it is a coffee shop. We have product type, we have product detail, and what we are going to do is our boss has said I want these things. Okay, I want these reports at the end of the day. So I don't want to get in the discussion why shouldn't we use pivot table or all these things. And at the end, I will also tell you uh, in the end, my reports when I prepare it, I will show you how Power Query is so much simpler. Understood? We have just this report. You can see we have only this much report, but what our boss has asked is I want product category, year, month, quarter name, and something like only in one uh, only in columns, and sometimes it is like pivot portion. So we are going to see everything where it is beneficial. Yeah, pivot table you can use, but I like Power Query because when I am going to write formulas, they would be in adjacent. In a pivot table, they will again dislocate. So let me uh, share you the proper report. All right. So what I did is because we wanted so many details now, so I added columns here year. I added the sales portion. I added year and everything like that. Understood? For our report. Because and if I will say na I have not written any formula here. Understood? I have just you can see here we can see the settings part. Understood? So I have just calculated. If you have come in the workshop, you can see how simple it is with UI only. But right now it is I won't discuss it because it is a topic of whole another conversation. So let me reference this query because I want to start from the clean slate. So what has our boss asked? What I want is total sales by product category. Understood? So if we see na report, we have so many columns right now. Understood? So but what our boss has asked is what we want total sales by product category. So in Power Query, you can simply go and just simply write here this is the product category, and what I want is just see in the home tab this is big button group by, and what I want is total sales, and I am going to add use directly some part, and then we have sales portion. That's all, and we click it OK, and you can see we have got what we wanted. Understood? Key product category, total sales, that's what we wanted. And it is so simpler. With few clicks, you can analyze everything right now and present the data to your boss. So let's move to more complicated examples. Now what our boss says is total sales by product category, year and month. All right. So what we can simply do here, okay, I will delete this portion. Just see, the boss was not satisfied just by this report. What he wanted, ki I want more columns right now, ki year and month. Just see, we are going for advanced step. I am adding grouping. I am saying year and I am adding month name. Great. This is what we wanted. It has generated a report in just few clicks. That's the magic of group by function, group by feature in Power Query. With just few clicks, you selected two additional fields and it has created the report what our boss desired. Now, if you see now ki what is our boss is asking, ki we want percentages of total sales by product category. Understood? Point. Percentage of total product category. So can this thing happen? Let me show you. By default, this is not a feature in Power Query. What we wanted by product category. All right. So you can come up here. We are going to delete this. We are going to delete this. This is what we wanted. Great. Now I want percentages of everything. So we can go here transform. We can add here statistics, and what am I going to do is keep for simplicity either you can use this approach or what you can do here reference the query, you can write here total sales and then you can go here statistics. I am going for total sum and this is our total sales. Understood? So now what we can do simply add column, custom column, and I am going to write total sales divide by our total sales, which is our query. Understood? That's the only thing. And I am writing percentage. Right? Okay, I have actually referenced it. I should have duplicated it. My mistake. Give me a moment. What I will do, delete this query. Because I want, what happens is ki I want to have duplicate steps. If you will see now, ki here we are having two steps and I want exactly the same steps here. Understood? And when I do referencing, so what happens is ki it starts from clean slate and it will give me everything what we are getting from the report tab. So that's the thing. I want total sales only. And I am going for transform, standard, statistics and sum. Right. And now what we can do simply add here custom column. I want total sales divide by our total sales of sum. Understood? And I am going to change percentage and that's only. You can see here I am going to change my percentage data type and you can see in just few clicks we have got what we wanted. The total sales by percentage, every category percentage here. Understood? So that's the benefit of Power Query. In just few clicks without writing single formula, you can analyze your data like a pro. Okay, let me delete everything. Now let's say ki what we want is ki total transactions by hour and day name. And it should be in pivot format having day name as column head. I will show you one more neat trick. So how can we use these reports in our daily life also? So now what we want is ki I want to have R in our this format and I want to have more grouping here. I want to have day name here and that's only I want total transactions and I am going to have count or count rows. That's the thing. I want to calculate the total transactions, and that's all. Let me delete these portions. I don't need them so that my query can be faster. So just see, we have got this way. Let me select it as text format because I don't want to analyze this R column. And now what I will do simply, okay, we want to do pivot now, right? I will select this column. I will go transform tab. I will select the pivot column, and then I will go here. Don't aggregate the values in total transaction, and that's all. Just you can see we have got what we wanted. And let me load this data. Right. I am loading this data table, existing column. Just see. Now I want to see. Understood? Okay, how many transactions are happening at which point of hour? So actually I didn't sorted it out. Let me see what we can do here. Give me a moment. So instead of changing type here, which is messing our report, what we can do here, we can directly change the type here. Text. Right. And now it will sort the data properly. Right now you guys have no idea actually how much data we are analyzing. So let me tell you, just simply we are analyzing around, if you count now, we are analyzing like 60,000 rows right now. And just see how simple it is. We are preparing a report. And now what we can simply do here, conditional formatting, cell values. I want the heat map, this one. Now you can see what is the interpretation of this data. Okay, in this much portion here, this is our matlab most precious time, you can say, is a most sweet spot where, on 10 hour and on Friday, okay, where most people are coming. Understood? And in these hours what we can do analyze is ki just see there are only few customers coming. What we can simply do, we can close our store at directly at 20 hours. Understood? So this will save our cost, overheads on all these things. So this way we can analyze deeper with Power Query very simply. Understood? So Crispo, tell me how much time we have left.
We still have like another 20 minutes.
All right, that is enough for me. I will try to finish it. I will try to wrap it quickly so that we can have more questions from the audience. Understood. I just wanted to share one more report ki why I am telling you ki how it is better than Power Query reports. Not Power Pivot report, pivot table reports. So you can do this thing. This is an exercise for you. And what we are going to do now, ki total sales by product type, year quarter, and year quarter are in column head. Understood? So what we are going to do, product type, I will go for group by directly, and advanced tab, what we want here, and I am going to add quarter portion also. We have made quarter, yeah, here, and then total sales. And then we are going to add the data and that also the total sales here. Great. Now you can see okay, we have grouped the data. Now what I want is ki year and quarter in the column portion. So I will merge the data. Merge columns. I will write nothing. It didn't mean anything for me. I will separate it with a hyphen. Right? This is what I wanted. Understood? Now what I will simply do, I will pivot the column and then this is my value columns. I don't want to aggregate because we have already aggregated in the group portion. So now just see, we have got the report what we wanted, and let me load this data. I will delete this portion, conditional formatting, manage rules. I don't want this. Let it load the data. It doesn't matter. Now just see what we can do simply here. We are going to add Sparkline. The location range. This is our location range. All right. This is our data range. Great. And that's how you can make the Sparklines. And let me select these rows. Understood? And now as per your own benefit, what you can do simply, you can create low high points and then you can change the lines also here. Let's say I want blue line here and upper marker color. I want the high point in the green portion. Understood? So you can now analyze the data this way. It is much more flexible when we are using Power Query. Understood? So that's what I wanted to share. And if you are using like image function for creating charts like with image functions, so you can directly incorporate here. Power pivot tables don't allow us that feature. All right. So now you can see na ki with pivot, group by and joins, how much complicated formulas we were using. All right. And then with few clicks, we can analyze the data like a pro. Understood? With just Power Query mouse clicks and nothing else. So CRISPR, I have finished everything. Now participants, for you, what you can do here is okay, you can practice these questions. I have prepared few questions. These questions are definitely to practice what I have prepared here. And also for your improvement, you can also practice these questions. I have provided the solutions also in my solution files. CRISPR will send you the files later on.
That was good.
And
And
wait
now,
one
and now
second.
I
Wait
felt
one
like
second. Wait one
10
second.
minutes. Okay.
Wait one second. Let me send you this one also. So that's me. If you want to learn more about Excel, finance, and Power Query, so you can join me on LinkedIn. The thing is, ki my office mission is ki why should financial professionals at the end of the weekend they should be matlab worried ki okay, our model is broken at somewhere. I have hard coded those values. How can I refresh the data? It is saved on my computer. It is not online. Understood, na? So what I want is कि financial professionals wake up now. This is a bright future. We can automate so many things with Power Query, Python, DEX, and all these stuffs, all these languages, and just matlab, have fun time with your family. That's what I want, right? I have prepped it everything, and let me stop sharing. Now, if someone has questions, I am very much happy to solve them.
That was quick and very interesting. I don't know whether there's somebody who has a question or somebody who didn't get a concept that they would like to be Aditya to redo the section. I think for me, if you can redo the section on full anti-join, I think that
Okay.
was very interesting, and it was
Give me
not
a
obvious to many. Yeah.
give me a moment. What I will do is I will share my solution file and I will explain it. So tell me, is my screen not this one? Yeah, this one. So what happens is कि now we want to have more or deeper analysis, and what our boss says कि what I want is कि I want to have something like this report कि I want expenses which were not covered, understood, which were not in the actual amount, and it's simply like कि I want to have combination of both these things, understood na? Expenses which are either in the budgeted table or in the actual table but not in both. So how can we achieve it? And this thing is not available in Power Query directly. So we need to work out few things. So what is simply the logic here is कि first we are going to calculate the left anti-join, because with left anti-join we will get everything which are from the left table but not in the right not in the which are from the left table, okay, but we don't want those in the left table which are in the right table. I hope I am making sense. Understood? And with the right anti, what we want is ki we want all the expenses from the right table which are uh, in the right table, but they shouldn't be in the left table. So we got the right anti-join, and simply what I did is ki I appended the tables. You can see I appended the tables. That's the only logic. The first, the three-step here is ki first calculate left anti-join, second step calculate the right anti-join, and third step we are going to append it for full anti-join. If you understood, so you can confirm me,
Yeah.
or else.
I think that's clear.
Right.
So I don't know whether there's anyone else with a question. You can raise your hand. I'll unmute you, or you can unmute yourself, or like type a question. Sammy, you are asking only 20 minutes. Do you have a question that you'd like to, that
Yeah,
was not answered in those? Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to know what will be the final report. In how did you present the final report? I know that is putting on into a couple sections, but I guess that the final report will be probably one tab where everything will be. So I don't know if he has something like that.
Actually, the simple thing I can do is कि I can मतलब copy paste all these things in one dashboard. Understood. So we can do this. This was not the topic of the मतलब, of the session, so I didn't prepare a dashboard like that. But it depends on our boss. If they say कि I want something like bar graph and all these things, so we can do this. If I have now one file, let me show you one what I used to do. I don't know if I can find it. In the meantime, someone can ask questions. I will search for the file.
Yeah, my second question would be, I get a bit confused when you on the join the table that you were talking about, because most of the time when we talk about the budget and actual, we want to have all the lines in terms of how we will, in terms of cost, in terms of element, if my word is correct. So I don't know which one do you use. I was a bit confused. Which one you use where you have all the all the list or the full list of all these elements. Which one are you using?
Full outer join. Okay, you are asking full outer join. So I will cover up that. So let me show you my screen first about what I will do actually. So that depends on our cost demands also. And just see, I will create budget versus actual performance like this way. So can you see my screen? Uh,
Yes.
Confirm me, please. Yeah, na? So you can see I will create report like this. Okay, this is actual versus budget. So this was something regarding income, but yeah, we can prepare report like this. Now you can see this is our budget thing. This is our actual thing, and we can see the red and green part. This is variance, and depending on our percentage wise, we can add emojis and all these things. And what we have seen is key earn the maximum income. See, with maximum income, and if actually we see na ki category I is outsmarted because it has improved by 42%. So yeah, it depends on case to case basis and what is the user preference, but we can do that way also.
I think the
So
other thing, Aditya, for somebody who is going to use Power Query for the very first time, maybe you can show them how to load data either as a connection or as a table.
that will be like totally if you attended the workshop now, we have discussed it for hour. So I don't think I can manage it in just few minutes.
No, you do know. You are just one merged query. How do you get it out in Excel? How because somebody who is using Power Query for the very first time, they don't know how to load that data back into a table in an Excel. Am I making myself clear?
Yeah, you want to
Yes.
see
Now,
how to load the data.
Yes. How do
So
you
the
create
thing,
now a that table there that shows what was budgeted but not actually used, or what was used but not budgeted? You know, like the way you create a pivot table and you can see a pivot table.
okay, you want this how I created this table. You want to understand this thing or how I load the data
Yes.
in.
How
Okay,
how you load data out from Power Query?
acha, out. Okay, I got the point.
Yes.
So
Yes.
let me delete
Okay.
it. Uh, and instead, what was our yeah. So I will solve two queries at the same moment. Just see what our boss want is simply which expenses are either in the budgeted or actual. Understood? So let me go directly in Power Query. Report for now. So in Power Query, what happens is when we directly do na full outer merge. So give me a moment. I will repeat it quickly. When I do na directly actual budgeted and actual expenses, and we are going for full outer. Understood? So yeah, I have selected this thing and just see when we do this now. So what happens is ki I want there are null values. Understood? But what I want all the expenses from actual expenses also. So I am going to quickly extract these columns. But the thing is, these things are duplicated. Understood? I cannot select either of these columns because I want values from both these columns. I hope you are getting the point. So this is creating ugly report. So instead what we did is I have created report like this. I want expense column. Understood? So what I simply do first I did the left outer join. So we have got everything from the left table and only the matching from the actual expenses. So if you will see now here, we expanded till here. You can see this is the exact same report what we see in the first report. That was the left outer join. So we have got everything till here. And then what we did is we have appended the right table. It was we have appended it with actual expenses because it is the right table. And then what we did, okay, we removed the duplicates from the expense table. That's all. And how can we load the data? So what we can simply do, okay, if I am going now here, okay, when you close that Power Query, so it depends on your options also. I will show you in the moment, and you can load the data directly from here. Load table, directly table, and then click OK. That's all. You can directly import the data from Power Query directly either by pivot table report, pivot chart, or directly only in connection. It was only in connection. That is my default settings. Or you can add it to data model also if you are going to analyze the data in Power Pivot. Understood? And that's the thing. We have got this data here. And let me show you how can you change the default settings from File tab, Queries and Settings, and Queries and Settings. I hope this is the settings and data load. So I have actually, by default, it is selected, Power Query is selecting this, use standard data load settings. But I don't want every time to load the data by default. So I am using these settings. Understood?
Okay, I think that's clear. Anyone else with a question? Maybe as we think of questions, what workshops do you have? I know this one that we are having this weekend. Do you have upcoming workshops, trainings that you can sell?
Right now, my goal is only to share my learnings about Power Query M language, and the first workshop is in process. We will have that session after this this webinar, and the next in the next session we will in the next workshop actually we will learn more about Power Query M language in depth with the each operator. Understood? That is quite confusing for most people who are transitioning from Excel. In Excel, what happens is ki you have approach of cells. Understood? You can directly refer a cell or a previous cell. You can refer, but in Power Query, this is not so simple. So we will learn ki how to do that. And the third workshop would be of M language only, but it would focus more on the advanced functions. I will not say advanced function. It depends on your how you perceive it, advanced or whatever level. But the thing is, ki we will learn about list generate, we will learn about list accumulate, and we will learn about table.group function. That would be in-depth analysis, including those optional parameters. And these functions are so much important if you are going to analyze the data in Power Query. Normally, what happens is that Power Query is much more about ETL, extract, transform, load. But if you are analyzing the data, then you can do with these functions. You have seen na ki we have analyzed the data today also. We have made some reports also. So that's the thing. And
Okay.
yeah, that's all. And
Okay.
what the thing is ki in workshops, I am much more inclined about generalizing the audience. Understood? I cannot specifically include only finance options, finance data. So I am generalizing the data so that everyone can relate their the things. But when you see now on LinkedIn, I am much more focused about finance and Power Query, Excel, or other tools, whatever am I learning. And today also I posted about a very much fantastic topic which I like, and I will do something about it. It was recent TED talk I watched, and it was much more about habituation, if I am pronouncing it correct. So yeah, I like that topic. I will analyze that topic in deeper because this is the problem which we are facing right now. And those adults, so-called adults, actually. All right.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else with a question? Otherwise, I think we can add there. Aditya, I know you have another class coming up. It was good having you here, and thank you for that in-depth analysis on joins and GroupBy.